Hello. It's been so wet, there's mud everywhere, you know, doesn't matter where I go. One of my usual haunts is, well, it's just underwater now, just muddy, nasty water. Been like it for probably best part of this bloody year. Anyway, whatever. This is reasonably dry up here. It's a bit sticky underfoot at times. So I was contacted by a young lady who said that she'd love my thoughts on this. So could I, you know, give her my my opinions really? I can, but I don't want to go through the whole message for obvious reasons, which you know you will know. To answer it, very simple. It's to go with our instinct. We've got whatever happens in life. I think look at this new life. Look, wonderful spring. Whatever happens in life, I think we've got two ways of dealing with it. It's the right or the wrong way, isn't it? You know, simple as that. We either do or we don't. There's two ways. You can believe something or choose not to. Two ways. We deal with everything really in those two ways, and I believe we've got to go with our natural instinct for the best part. I've had a few times where I've decided not to go with my natural instinct and try and be very clever, and I override it, and then I come a cropper. And I had a sort of a friend, and after spending a few hours with this particular person, I thought, there's something off here, you know? Something I didn't like, something I didn't trust about the person. Now, this is normally dry, and look at what we've got. I've got to swim through this mire. Yeah, I thought there's something that I just didn't trust him, like him, you know, there was something wrong, something off, something not right, and I should have went with that. And I thought, well, you know, he's my mate, who am I to judge, what am I on about, you know? He's alright, I've got it wrong. Give him another chance, you know. Should have went with my instinct, because not long after, anyway, we are no longer friends. Yeah, he absolutely proved that my instinct, my initial instinct was right. It's not always right, of course, you know. We can all say things, you know, oh, I thought this, but something else happened. But on the whole, your instinct is correct. And I believe going with that puts us in good stead. I don't think there's any harm in it whatsoever. It's always good to think the situation through, whatever. Look at it from both sides, 3 or 4 sides if you can, that's wonderful. But remember your instincts. How did you first feel? How did whatever happened make you feel? And why are you feeling that? Just looking at little buds today. I had a job many years ago. They employed this, I wasn't there long, I'd only been 6 or 8 months, 10 months maybe. They employed a new person, a female, and I had a bit of a chat with her, and you know, she was alright. Not really my cup of tea probably, but she was alright. And everybody else was saying, you know, oh, she's so lovely, isn't she? She's great. Anyway, my manager, after about a week, she said, would you do me a favour? Could you go out with this particular person in the minibus? Just give her sort of 30 or 40 minutes, just just bump her up a little bit, build her confidence up. She's never driven a minibus. I said, yeah, sure, you know. Anyway, she said something a little bit off. And I knew she would, because, I don't know, there was just something not right. And anyway, I jumped in and I said, right, what I'll do, I'll take you around, I'll explain a few little things, and then you can drive us back. How's that? And she said something, I can't even remember what it was now. And I thought, okay. Anyway, cut a long story short on this one as well, she was only there for a few weeks. Everybody was saying, she's fantastic, isn't she? Don't you love her? Isn't she great? And I was thinking, no, not really. But anyway, I was just saying, yeah, she's fine. Bodie, please. Anyway, one evening, I'd forgotten to sign off on something, which is no problem, you know, it would have been thrown back at me and they would have said, you've forgotten to sign off, and I said, oh, cheers. I mean, you know, occasionally I forgot to sign off on certain things. We all did. And lo and behold, the following morning, I was called into the office by my manager. Bode, you mustn't lick, darling. And she said, you've forgotten, I know you're busy last night, but you've forgotten to sign off on so-and-so's work. And I said, oh, have I? And she said, yeah, it was pointed out to me. I said, by who? Who would do that, you know? Anyway, she said, I'm not really at liberty to say. And I said, oh, in that case I know who. I said, the new girl. Anyway, that's fine. And later on in the day I caught up with her and I said, I know you went to the manager last night, and that's fine, you know, if that's how you feel, but there is no need, you know, you can come and find me and just say you haven't signed off on so-and-so's work, and I'll put it right, you know, because if it was you and you hadn't signed off, I would have come to find you. You know, not my manager can't sign it off. She didn't work with that particular person, but you did. So I said, in future, you know, just come and see me. Very tranquil. So, a bit later in the day, this new girl decided to go to my manager and say that she thinks I'm bullying her by asking her to come to me, not to my manager. So there's a second thing. And I just let that go. I just thought, well, if she's that unsure of herself. So part of my job occasionally there, not very often, if they needed somebody more of a senior position to take control of a lot of people on a certain particular day doing a particular thing, I would drive the minibus, and I'd then take control of whatever we're doing all day, and you know, make sure all the paperwork's done at the end of the evening, sign it off and everything else. And this new girl was sat next to me in the passenger seat, and then I had a staff member directly behind me and one to my left and two students in the middle, and then I think I had 3 students behind that and another 3 students with maybe another 2 staff. Can't remember, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 of us, I don't know. And nobody said anything. I just drove how I normally would drive, particularly when you've got a minibus full of people, and you know, they're all my responsibility. I'm the driver, so I would always go careful. And anyway, we got to this particular thing, we had a good day and everything seemed to be fine, and I signed all the paperwork and everything else, and the following morning pulled into the office again, and she it wasn't my manager, it was another manager who I didn't like, and she said, Brian, what is the speed limit on so-and-so? And I said 60 miles an hour. Why, is this a quiz? I never liked her. And she said, what speed were you doing? And I said, probably 45-ish, I'd imagine. It's what I normally drive at when I've got a lot of people on board for obvious reasons. And she said, I have it on good authority, that you were speeding. I said, well, it's very unlikely, but you know, who's complained? I mean, nobody complained to me, and there was probably half a dozen staff on there. Nobody felt that I was speeding, or they didn't say anything to me. So, and I don't think I was speeding. Well, I know I wasn't speeding. Anyway, it turns out that they said, well, we've got a report here, and you know, we'll have to investigate. So I leant over. It was signed by this new girl, which, you know, incidentally, she'd been there probably getting on for a year by this time. And I said, what is wrong with her? You know, I don't know whether she got it in for me or what it is. Absolutely ridiculous. My initial thought of her was, I don't trust her, I don't like her, there's something wrong, you know. And that's my instincts. But give her the benefit of the doubt. And I kept on giving her the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, to cut this very, very short, she'd complained that I was speeding and said that I was driving at over 60 mile an hour for most of the journey. And I said, well, you know that road, you know, I wouldn't be driving at that speed, that's ridiculous. And she said, well, it was from here to here. I said, well, I would have been doing 45-ish, guaranteed. I said, has anybody else complained? And she said, no, but we are asking them. And I said, well, that's nice, you know. Anyway, in the end, it was, they sat this woman in the passenger seat where she was and got her to look over at the speedometer, and they realised that she was looking at the kilometres per hour and not the miles per hour. And of course in this country we do miles per hour. So you know, if something says 40, it means 40 mile an hour. If it's 70, it's 70 miles an hour. And on this road it would have been 60 miles an hour with the vehicle that I was driving and the road and everything else. And I was doing 48 roughly, 46 to 48 for most of the journey. Who's coming up here? Is it dogs or don't know? Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And she did apologise and all the rest of it, but I never liked her. And that was instinct. I should have went by my instinct. I should have first thought, you know, I don't like her for some reason. I should have stuck with that. Yeah, I'll turn this off for a sec. Wow, it's beautiful. Lots of birds. And an aeroplane, big metal bird. So what I'm saying in this video is we can all make mistakes. We can all try to go with our initial thoughts and try to give people or the situation or whatever the benefit of the doubt. And maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, and invariably it can be wrong. We have a primeval sense of what's right and wrong. We have you know, an inward thing that's fight or flight. We know what's right and what's not right. We have a set of feelings inside. We have a set of morals inside. We have a set of kind of knowingness rules inside, and we need to listen to ourselves more and go with what we feel is right initially. So this person who contacted me, I can say that she's in a new relationship and instantly it doesn't feel right, and she's already checked his phone when he went for a shower. Well, that's, you know, it's really poor, I think. You know, because if you're in that situation already and it's only been, you know, however long, then you're looking to find something that may or may not be there. It's probably not there, and if it's not there, you will convince yourself that you just haven't found it yet, so you will check it again and again and again and again. Or maybe you're right, maybe there is something for you to know, which is why you are checking it. And either one of those is awful, isn't it? I think the first one is even more, because you're expecting something, you're searching for it, you're trying to find it, and like I say, it's probably not there, or it may not be there, who knows. But you said your instinct said stay away, keep away, don't trust. It said that for a reason, I'm afraid. And you know, I'm not giving you advice, but my opinion is, if I was in a fairly new relationship and I was getting all those trigger warnings, etc, hello, then I would move away from it very, very quickly. Okay, got another dog. Guy lost his dog. They was connected, him and Bodhi, and he didn't want to leave Bodhi. He's been calling and whistling. He's still whistling. Oh no, the dog's up there now. Wow. Yeah, I think that brings this video to an end, really. We have a lot of inner knowingness, right? We have a lot of intuitive ways, and I believe they come from our ancestors, from our, as I say, some sort of primeval thing, you know. I think, well, I know really, you know, a dog can tell you that it's going to be thunder an hour before it's going to thunder. He can also tell you when your Chinese is going to be delivered on a Friday about 10 or 15 minutes before. Now, how does he know that? Don't tell me you can hear an engine of a car amongst other engines. Look at him. So animals can do that. They reckon that trees communicate to each other as well, and birds communicate, and animals tell each other where food is, where water is, how to survive, who to look out for. They warn, don't they? Come on, boat. Come on, my love, this way. He's coming back. Well, I've forgotten totally what I said really in this video. I've just been talking to that guy who was behind me with his dog for over an hour. Couldn't get away from him. Nice guy, but you know, anyway, I need to go home and get a Slurpee. So I was going to say I'm going to finish this video by just saying blah blah blah, but I don't quite know where I got to, but I think I've probably said enough. Really, my message in this video, what I'm trying to say is, we've only ever got two things, and it's yes or no. Do you like that food? Yes or no. You know, do you like that person? Yes or no. Does it work for you? Yes or no. You know, is it right or is it wrong? Does it make you feel happy or sad? You know, there are those two things, and I think that when you're in a new relationship, or when anything really is going on, you have to trust your instinct and think, is this right or is this wrong? Does this feel comfortable or does it feel traumatic? There's only those two things all the time, two things. And you know, you really got to say to yourself, you know, is this working? Can I see this working? Yes or no? It's those two things. And really, in a new relationship, if you start a new relationship and you're already concerned, you've already got your doubts, you're already now starting to look for signs, reading his text messages, you know, then I don't want to give you any advice, but if it was me, I would walk a mile. I would leave that situation totally alone. Where's that little boy? Bird, come here, love. Hello, my friend. Yeah, it's all about using, you can call it whatever you want, inner wisdom. You know, it's our innate belief in who we are. The essence of who we are contains all those things that I said earlier. A deep knowingness, a belief in right and wrong, the fact that we can learn lessons and move on. Also, we just know things as well sometimes, and that is intuition, isn't it? It's just feeling that, no, that's not right. If I do this, this will happen, that will happen. And how many times have you been proved right over that? You know, how many times have you've been interviewed and they phone up and they say, yeah, you got the job, and you say to your partner or friend or whatever, do you know, I knew I was going to get that job. I just felt it. I knew. I could sense it. How many times have you said that? May not be about a job, maybe about lots of things, maybe about the home you live in. You just knew that you were going to get that. And it's, come on, my friend, we're going to go this way. Thank you. It is this deep self-belief that we've got, which we can call, you know, inner wisdom, we can call it whatever you want, but it is just, it's something that maybe we can't put words to, but whatever it is, we need to listen to those inner voices, all that inner working within our heads. We need to accept perhaps that that's our higher self speaking, perhaps. Bode, come on, my love. So, if you started something in life, whatever it may be, even a new job, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, and I think it's time to move on. Okay, take care then, and be well. Ta-ra.